Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop Simulator and the game The Hunters. This is Dr. Obsidia. Currently, it is June of 1940. See on our chart here, I have made some corrections to it. And I did highlight the damaged ship in red just to show that we hit it, but it did get away because we were depth charged and we decided to not continue to fight that. If we roll down here, I have made some corrections to the successful patrols. If you get this file, you can get this file off of the official website. Just remove the first part of that equation, and you just start with the count if. And then that will fix all of your problems there. I took a look at the coding there and figured out that it was doing a sum of these cells here, which it didn't need to do, and that was causing the problem. Okay, so it does total our 3 successful patrols. It says here, total patrols 4, successful was 3. So we do have 1 failed patrol. That failed patrol is going to come back and haunt us later, even though it wasn't specifically our fault. If we go down here, if we do end up getting promoted, or a chance for promotion, you can see down here in the procedures, +1 for every unsuccessful patrol. And we need to roll a 1 to 4 on a d6 to get promoted. So we're going to get a +1 to that roll right now because of that unsuccessful patrol, which is unfortunate. But they're going to blame us for the gyro that malfunctioned. Not our fault, but, you know, that's what happens, I guess. All right, so we are getting ready to depart again. This is June of 1940, and as you can see here, we do have a chance to get Norway, which might be interesting. Let's go ahead and roll our captain's privilege here and see if we can get it. We do not. We're going to have to roll a 2d6 and see where they're sending us. 8. Ah, it looks like the British Isles again. There. Alright, so let's bounce back over to our Excel file and select British Isles. Alright. Very good. And then we are going to be sending our submarine into the British Isles. We need to transit the Bay of Biscay, which is always a risk. Airplanes are always one of the scariest things for submarines. These things come out of nowhere. They drop sometimes bombs or depth charges. They can strafe our boat, and that's never a good thing for a boat that needs to go underwater. So, highly dangerous. We don't like to encounter aircraft. We never want to see them. And many times they were the death of submarines. So, as a result, they did make some submarines, the U-boats that actually carried a lot of flak guns. The Type 7D, I think it was a flak boat, and they stayed on the surface to fight back because they knew that the airplanes were extremely dangerous. And it's very interesting to see some of the things that the Allies had done later in the war to attack the U-boats on the surface. They had a lot of devices that they could use to try to take U-boats down. And U-boats really, the airplanes were really spelling the end of the U-boat era, and also the era of the battleships as well. So we need to watch out for airplanes, even though it's still early in the war, 1940. They are a huge risk for us. So we need to worry every time we transit the Bay of Biscay, and hopefully our crash dive will save us almost every time. But in the case that we're caught on the surface, we have to fight back, and of course that could be catastrophic because aircraft are bad news. Alright, we will begin our departure. Please fasten your seatbelts and turn your tray tables into their upright positions. Locked and upright positions. We are on our way. Alright, we are in the Bay of Biscay, and here we can see we do have the aircraft problem. So let's go ahead and roll and see what happens here. No aircraft. Alright, very good. We have moved through the Bay of Biscay, and now we are in the transit box. Still a risk for aircraft in this area as well. Oh no! Just what I said! I don't need an aircraft! What shows up? It is an aircraft. Alright. We'll get it rolling here in the sound file. Alright, so with the aircraft, what we need to do, of course, is try to avoid it. We don't even want to deal with it. So right here we can see our modifiers. There are no modifiers at all. So we're going to go ahead and roll it and just see what we get. We need 6 or more. Otherwise, we're going to be... Okay, a 12. Good. So we are going to be able to crash dive and head underwater. Alright, so Success. We do not have to encounter that. That's good. But there is, of course, a chance that we would deal with it, and they get a free attack, they get a free crew injury, and then when we roll on the air attack chart, you can see here, one of the things they get is a +2, and that is horrific, because if we happen to roll an 11 or 12, they automatically sink us. We're done. There's nothing we can do about it. That's why aircraft are quite scary. So we like to have good crew. If we have a good crew out there, they will have a much better chance to detect, well, not a slightly better chance to detect them. An elite crew can have a better watch rotation, and they are more likely to spot the aircraft. We need every benefit we can get, and the only benefit we really get is 1939 or elite crew. So we would like to get the elite crew on the deck there watching for aircraft, because they are just bad news. All right, let's go ahead. We are now in the British Isles, safely patrolling, and here is our British Isles chart here. All right, an 8. I believe that would be a ship. We have encountered a ship on the British Isles right here. Oh, that's a 9. Sorry, no, 9, 6, and 9. So, okay, so we did miss it. Sorry, I thought it was a 2 for some reason. So we have not seen anything, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and continue our patrol here. Come on, give us something to fight. Another 9. Nothing on the horizon. Our boat continues its search. And a 7, I think, is another miss. All right. So we have missed our last part here. So one thing that we could consider doing is maybe asking for a milk cow, which is refueling and resupply. And this is down near the bottom, I believe. Let's see if I can dig this up here. I'll fight it here and get back to you. Okay, so if we go to the variable rules, which I said that I was not going to use, so I'm not going to actually do it. I thought it was under the normal rules. But under the option rules, if you would like to do this, you can roll down here to resupply at sea, 14.9, and then you do have a chance to potentially resupply. It says, yeah, U-tankers were of 2 types, and it explains what they are. So resupply at sea is not available for some areas. It can only occur once per patrol, and then how you would do that. But we're not going to do that. We're just running with the basic package here, the basic standard rules. So we're just going to return to port, unfortunately, which means we are going to have another failed patrol. All right, we will transit. If we're lucky, we might find a ship. We do not. Nothing there. And going through the most dangerous Bay of Biscay, our captain has failed to find anything whatsoever. And now we are returning to port. Alright, unfortunately, it seems that we are going to have to mark another failed mission here, which, whoops, is never something we want to see as a submarine captain looking for a promotion. We're going to get a refit here. Oops. Gonna get a refit. And we're going to be heading out again in August of 1940. Alright, so we didn't actually do anything that time around. August of 1940 is 1 month before our chance at a promotion. So this is our last chance to try to secure something good for ourselves. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. We're going to approach the Admiral and ask if we can pick a mission, and he denies us. And we've had some trouble here. So he's going to give us a new mission. July 1940 is where we've now passed. We are now in August of 1940. We rolled a 10, which is the Atlantic. All right, the Atlantic. It says here, also, if we do roll the West Coast of Africa, our Type 7 boats cannot go to the West Coast of Africa, so instead they go to the Atlantic. And Type 7 boats, except for the Type 7D, treat the Caribbean as Atlantic. So they can't go all the way to the Caribbean either. So that's something you need to kind of remember there. Oh, this Type 7D is the mine layer. Type 7C flak is the one I was mentioning before. All right, so we are going to the Atlantic this time around. There are a lot of convoys in the Atlantic, so that might not be a bad thing. finding a convoy is a kind of a juicy target. So there's quite a few convoys here that we would like to take a look at. All right. Encountering a convoy is not just encountering a few ships. We encounter many ships. So we can actually shoot at them, and then we can follow the convoy and just keep engaging the convoy, keep shooting at it. Of course, they're always escorted, so that's the problem. But we can expend a lot of our efforts trying to get a lot of ships out of the convoy if we don't mind dealing with the escorts. All right. So we will be moving into the Atlantic here, and we can see the Atlantic. So there are three. It's the same as the British Isles. Three places to go, but we also have to do the Bay of Biscay transit as well. Okay, let us continue on into the Atlantic as we go into the Bay of Biscay. Oh, another aircraft! We're having a terrible luck with aircraft today already, which is not something I enjoy. These things, as I said, could be the death of us. Alright, so we're going to try to crash dive here. No good things coming out of this. And it looks like we have successfully crash dived. Diving alarm, please. Okay, so we will get away from that one. Okay, moving on transit. The tense moment to be departing and seeing aircraft coming after you. A 7, that's okay, nothing there. Now we're in the Atlantic, we're in a new place, the wide open sea. They don't trust us to go to the British Isles anymore. We've been having some bad luck a couple times, so they have sent us off to do something else. All right, the Atlantic. Here's a roll for the Atlantic. 7, 8. Okay, an 8. Ah, we rolled between two convoys. That's never a good thing. Rolling again here. Come on, give us something good. Oh, another 8. Guess what that is? Nothing. We're gonna keep going. They're not gonna trust me to have any kind of promotion with this kind of results. A 6. Okay, good. On our last part of the journey, we have encountered a convoy. Excellent. All right. So now we've got to determine what we see in the convoy. I will bring up the information about the convoy here. Okay, it is important to remember that when you encounter a convoy, there are more than a few ships here. There are many ships, including escorts. So these are going to be escorted. And one thing to mention here is this right here. Convoys always consist of 4 ships. Capital ship and convoy encounters always include enemy escorts. So we're always going to have enemy escorts with this convoy. Engagements against individual ships or tankers that do not specify an escort do not include an escort. The following engagements do not include escorts to, and so on. Okay, so no, convoys, of course, consisted of more than 4 ships in most cases. However, for game purposes, these 4 ships represent the ones in your vicinity that you may target. When we come across the convoy, we have approached from an angle, and we are picking these 4 targets out of all the ships as the best and most likely targets to shoot at this angle that we are shooting. So, we need to determine a few things. First, we are going to determine the time of day. It is nighttime, and that is good. We do like night. Next, we need to determine the ship size, and we're going to have to roll for all these ships. So first ship size is a tanker. Excellent. Next ship is a large freighter. Good. So we have a tanker and a large freighter. And 2 more tankers. Wow, we have 3 tankers, which are very juicy targets. We're going to put these first. 2, 3, and a large freighter. Now, I put these on the target at the top, and you can actually bring them down here if you want. And that's the way a lot of people do it, and I will switch to that. But first, let's determine what we're dealing with here. We'll roll for the large freighter first. And that is a 78, and that is the Port Nicholson, an 8,400-ton freighter. All right, so we're going to go ahead and write that into here. 8,400-ton freighter. Right, and now we need 3 tankers. So let's go ahead and see the tanker right here, tanker roster. Let's see what we get. An 88. An 88 is a 6,600 ton Ervikin. Right, and what are we going to get next? A 62 is the 8,100 Conus. That was 8,100 tons, if I recall. Yeah, 8,100. Conus. And the final tanker. A lot of tankers here. 52. We need a big one. Really big. 6,600 ton. Okay. And the that was 52. 6,600 ton Athel Beach. Athel Beach? There we go. Athel Beach. Alright. Well, as I can see here, we do have the freighter, and the freighter was the first one we rolled, so I'm going to put that at target 1. That is the heaviest thing that is available. That is an 8,400 ton, and then we do have a tanker that is, we're going to just put them like this. So you can see here, if I flip back and forth, we've got the targets lined up here. So the freighter is, the freighter right there is the 8,400 ton, and then the tanker and the next 3 tankers are lined up right here on the sheet. 6,600, 8,100, and then 6,600 again. Alright, so these are all large freighters or tankers less than 10,000 tons, so we just need to do 3 damage to sink them. So I can just drop these down here if I would like. Here. And then we're going to be shooting our torpedoes at these guys. Alright, of course we are going to... We can do a surface attack, actually, if we would like. If we do a surface attack at night, we don't want to do short range. We would do probably medium range, and then we would have to dive away. If we do a surface attack, night surface attack would give them a +1 to detect us. That's not good, but I think that if we do a surface attack, it gives them a -1 to our torpedo rolls, and we're going to be wanting to make sure that we have every opportunity to hit these guys with our torpedoes. We cannot use the deck gun. That will give away our position. We definitely don't want the escorts to know where we are. So we're going to go ahead and do a surface. Let's go medium range attack. We want to try to get some hits in. Our boat is fresh. I'm feeling good about this. We're going to fire some steam torpedoes at night. That's always a good thing. And you would think that we would want to spread out our torpedoes, but we actually want to get some kills here. We're going to go ahead and fire 2 torpedoes. Hopefully we'll get some big hits on these guys. We're going to fire at the 8,100 and the 8,400 freighter. We want to get some big hits. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Let's move this away. I'm going to bring the torpedoes up when we take the shot so that you can see what I'm shooting at. I think I'll bring them up one at a time. All right. We have now lined up our shots. We are going to be shooting first at the large freighter. So here's our 2 torpedoes that we are bringing up here. That we are going to have to shoot at that large freighter. Now that freighter needs to take 3 damage to be sunk, otherwise it's just going to be damage, and then we're going to have some hard choices to make. This is our main target, 8,400 tons. We would really love to see this one go down in one volley. We've been having some poor luck with hits and with duds and with just missing and not doing much damage when we do hit. So hopefully this time around we are going to do much better than we have in the past. So we're going to fire these torpedoes off. Alright, so our first torpedo is away. We do get a -1 because we do have the ability to use our optics and so on to try to calibrate the torpedo, so it is going to be much more accurate as a -1 to this roll. 8 or less is a hit, and that is a 7. The first one will be a hit. And we got to make sure that's not a dud. Don't be a dud. Oh, it is a dud. This is 1940, July. So, well, actually, 1940 August. So we still have a steam dud. The electric torpedoes are less likely to be duds now. So this one is a dud, unfortunately. Hit the side of that ship and it's a dud. Okay, the next one is also a hit. See if that's a dud as well. And it's also a dud. We've struck the enemy ship with 2 dud torpedoes. Can you believe it? All right, well, we still got a chance at the tanker. We have fired 2 more torpedoes that are on their way. Give us something good here. There is a hit. No duds, please. This one is not a dud, so we're going to roll on the damage chart here. We need some big damage. 3 is 2 damage, so we will move that tanker up 1, 2. Need 1 more hit to kill him. Come on, big money here. 1 of these torpedoes is done. Here's the last one. Hey, snake eyes, that means a hit. We need to roll to make sure that's not a dud. No duds, please. No dud. And the damage is a 1, which means 4 damage. So we have a huge hit there on the enemy. 2 hits, and this tanker is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. But we will switch over here and mark this one as a negative. That will mark us as a successful. Whoops, that's not supposed to be here, is it? We're supposed to be having these down here. Go ahead and move those down. I can just copy these and paste them down here. And then these we will just delete. There we go. And then here we have the Atlantic that I did not mark. There we go. That's good. So we did sink something. Yay! We actually have a success here. So that's the good news. The bad news, of course, is now we have to deal with our friend, the escort. Alright, so now the escort will be trying to detect us, and we need to figure out what his chances of finding us actually are. So here comes the escort looking for us here. So to be undetected, we need to roll an 8 or less. Now, it is a night attack, so that is good. So, we do have a night surface attack, but that's not going to do anything for us. Not going to give it any penalty. Let's see. We don't have any of these modifiers here. The commandant plus the injuries or anything. Our fuel tanks are perfectly fine. It is not a capital ship that we've shot at. That makes them pretty aggressive. They don't like it when we shoot their capital ships. They have not detected us yet. We are not at close range. It is not 1941. We did not fire our aft torpedoes. We are not a wolf pack. We are not at long range, and we are not going to exceed our test depth just yet because we can't if we're firing from the surface. The only thing we can do right away is dive. So this is a straight roll. Hopefully less than 8. Or 8 or less. Hey, there we go. They did not find us. Yippee! We have gotten away with sinking a big tanker, an 8,100 ton tanker. Alright, excellent. Now, once that's completed, we don't want to just give up. I mean, they did look for us. They did not detect us. Everything's perfect. We do have another opportunity to continue to try to engage them. So let's see. We would like to follow this convoy and to continue to engage it. Now, if we follow, we're going to come up on it from a different angle, so we're going to have to re-roll the ships here and see what we come up with. Oh, where can we find that here? Let me see. Following an escort. Yeah, so here it says, U-boats that have the... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Due to inherent speed, following is successful. Okay, so generally, once the initial combat round is completed, the encounter ends, and we advance our U-boat on the track. However, if a player wishes to continue to engage a convoy in this case, the U-boat marker remains in its current travel box, which is great. Please note that the rules in this section apply to both the convoys and the additional ships and so on. So, when attempting to follow a convoy, roll a d6. On a 1 to 4, the U-boat has successfully followed or re-engaged the convoy and must roll to identify 4 ships encountered again. So we have to re-roll those 4 encounters. So, alright. Whoops, let me continue to read that there. Well, 1 to 4. So we need to roll a 1 to 4 to even stay with the convoy. And we have failed. It just kind of drifted away. We were just maybe kind of come up on the tail end of it, and we shot and had to evade by diving under, and then we were no longer... When we surfaced, the convoy had disappeared from view, unfortunately, and we are no longer engaged with the convoy. So the good thing is about following a convoy is you can continue to hit their ships all along the way until you're out of munitions. Hopefully don't get detected. If you get detected, they're going to be watching for you. It gives them a bonus, so you need to be more careful. But we got away with that, so I'll take the 8,100 success there and move on to the next slot here. Okay, we are now in transit. So let's roll and see if there's any aircraft. No aircraft, no aircraft. Nope, nothing there. Okay, we will move on to the Bay of Biscay. Nothing there either. That's good. And now we will come home and arrive in our home port. Alright, we are now back home. We would have reloaded our torpedoes, by the way, after that round. And we have marked this as a successful attack, even though we did miss the big target. We would like to hit them both. It was good that we were able to sink at least one of them, and we did have an attempt to follow, so that's the good news. We are getting a refit here. Alright. It is now past our initial start date of 1940. It is now October of 1940. Let's do a pop out here so you can see what we're doing. Alright, so if the next 3 successes, we're going to get a chance to, of course, upgrade our crew again. It'd be nice to have elite crew, or at least somebody, an expert or something. That would be great. However, since it has been 1 year, we now get the chance to get promoted here. So we roll a d6 for promotion, with a roll of 1 to 4 being successful for promotion. However, we have only sunk 5 ships. Bring you back over here to see it, and you can see here it's a 3,500 or 35,000 tons for successful patrols. 5 ships sunk, so we don't get any benefits from that over the last year. But as you can see here, we do have 2 failed patrols. And that gives us a +2 to our roll. So we're going to need to roll really well to get a promotion. They're pretty unhappy about our 2 failed patrols right now. So let's see what we get here. Oh, it landed on 1. Do you see that? So that's calculated as a 6. And according to our promotion chart, we need to roll a 4 to be promoted. So we are not promoted. We are passed over for promotion. We need to wait until the next 6-month period, which would be September of 1941, to be promoted. So unfortunately, we were passed up. But it was not totally unexpected. I think we can accept that. Alright, thanks for joining. In the next episode, we are going to be heading back out October 1940. We are still alive. We're doing much better than our historical counterpart. The U-35 is turning into a decent boat. Although we've had some problems with dud torpedoes, 2 duds in the last episode, or in the last mission, and in the previous we've had some trouble with misses, some very terrible misses. So overall, we're still alive, and you can't be upset about that, right? Alright, thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.